Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, Econ Talks. I'm your host, Dari, and I'm joined by
Evelyn Nguyen, Caitlin Kelly.
Teia Helpling.
we're all in the 12th grade and taking economics. So our discussion question is, should the rich pay more taxes? That's going to be our main question. But we're going to go through a little background first. So, income tax. Income tax is defined as the type of tax governments impose on the income that businesses and individuals generate. Income taxes are a source of revenue for governments, and they're used to fund public services and pay government obligations. Now, tax brackets. You pay tax as a percentage of your income in layers, and as your income goes up, the tax rate on the next layer of income is higher. But when your income jumps to a higher tax bracket, you don't pay the higher rate on your entire income. Now, going to the actual discussion. What do people's taxes go towards?
According to the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities, in 2023, quote, about 9/10 of the total tax money went towards federal programs. Three major areas of program spending make up majority of the budget, which include health insurance, social security, and defense and security. They also report that 8% of the federal budget goes towards economic security programs and 7% goes towards benefits for veterans.
Okay. Next, do we think that rich people should pay more taxes?
I personally think yes, that they should pay more taxes because if it was a recessive tax, which is people paying the same amount regardless of their income or how much they make, you would be cutting into the lower class people more, which isn't really fair because they do need the money more than rich people do.
I agree with that. Additionally, higher taxes on the rich can fund essential public services and infrastructures that benefit society as a whole, including education, healthcare, and social security. These services can improve the overall quality of life and provide opportunities, which can help bridge the gap between the rich and the poor.
I also agree, considering that taxes fund public services and programs to support low-income earners. I think it makes sense for high earners to pay more.
I do agree, but at the same time, I disagree just a little bit because I feel like there are a lot of factors that also need to go into like rich people paying more taxes. Um, Wait, sorry guys, hold on. I agree, but I think that there's like a certain amount of money that you really have to cap it at for what is considered rich. Because while someone could be making like hundreds of thousands of dollars, they could still have a lot of like past dues from when they were really struggling earlier. But I do think that rich people with certain circumstances should really pay more taxes. Okay, on to our next question. What should the tax percentage for each class be?
I personally think that it should be on the lower end. I think it should be 8% to 25%. And our for the US, our current tax bracket is 10% to 37%. I just personally think that taxes should be just a little bit lower, especially for lower class people, since they do need the money more to help support themselves financially, especially if they have a family.
I agree and disagree. I think that tax brackets should be split up based on class. So lower class around 5 to 10, middle class 15 to 25, upper class 30 to 40, and the ultra wealthier top 1% around 40 to 50. I believe that the taxes should be raised due to other countries' taxes being raised and their positive effects because of it.
Yeah, right now, for 2025, people with incomes over 626,000 are getting taxed 37%, and I do think it could be higher.
I think that I feel like capping it at 25 maybe would be good. Um I disagree with Caitlin about maybe like going into the 50s because with rich people, I mean, they're still working for their money. It's not like it's just given to them because this is their income tax. So they are still working for it. So I feel like taking away half of it is kind of doing a little too much, but I think it should really just be capped at maybe like 25, 30 at the most.
I understand where Dari's coming from. My personal opinion is just I don't think anyone needs to make more than like $1 million a year. I don't think that a person um, needs that much money. And if they're spending that much money, which usually the top 1% aren't even spending half their money, they're using it on things that possibly could harm our society.
I understand where Caitlin is coming from that point of view because that is a really risky game that you're playing. But you also have those super rich people who choose to like use their money and donate to charities and stuff. But I think again, it depends on circumstances. A lot of things depend on certain circumstances. Like there are people who will use their money for really terrible things, but then there are also people who will use their money for things like charities, giving to the needy that the money from their taxes was already providing to begin with.
Well, I mean, a lot of times when you donate to charity, not a lot of that money is actually going to what you think you're putting it to. And I think high earners should pay more just because, like we said, it's going to public services and programs that actually support the low income earners.
I do think it will rage some people, especially in the upper class, if you tax them more, especially like 0.5%. Um, they'll probably be angry and they'll probably commit more tax evasion.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that with certain organizations, you aren't completely understanding of where your money is going to, but with that, I feel like do need to you do need to just do your research on it. But I do understand with it going directly. But at the same time, when the government takes your money, half the time you personally don't know where it's going to either. Okay. Next question. Do progressive taxes lead rich people to commit tax evasion?
Even though I think that this is a stupid answer, I do have to admit that yes, I do think that progressive taxes lead to tax evasion more. Little background: progressive taxes are when taxes are determined based on somebody's income and their whole life. So if they have kids, they probably would get taxed less, or if they're a lot more rich and they're single, they'll probably get taxed a lot more. But the US does have the highest tax evasion, and I do think that's just not because of our progressive taxes. I think that it's a little bit more on people's ethics and what they want, because nobody wants to pay taxes. Nobody like volunteers to pay taxes. So either way, tax evasion is going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, I also feel like certain rich people too just think about it as like, because some people start out from the very bottom and then they've made their way up to being that wealthy and they will think that they're being treated unfairly, but in reality their money goes to other things that will help other people reach the same success that they have been able to get to. But yeah, I think progressive taxes definitely can lead rich people to commit tax evasion.
I agree and disagree. I think that many wealthy people are motivated more than just by money. And a lot of wealthy individuals see paying taxes as part of their responsibility to society, and um, they might still invest in businesses, create jobs, and contribute to the economy despite higher taxes. But it is a personal thing per rich person.
I do think progressive taxes can lead to rich people committing tax evasion, but I think that's something that might happen anyway. So I think it's still going to be helpful to tax the rich more because even if they're trying to hide some income, they will still probably pay more than they would if there was no progressive tax policy in place.
Yeah, I fear some people just don't like adulting and paying their taxes. Um anyways, do we think that progressive taxes discourage people from success?
I think that it does and it doesn't. This is a very iffy question, but again, I think it depends on the person's ethics. If you're using progressive taxes as an excuse to not be rich, then I think that you're just lazy and you don't want to be like financially rich in life. Maybe you want other things. But also at the same time, I can definitely see that taxes are already annoying. If you're poor, you don't want to pay more if you're rich.
Hmm. I agree with that. I think that many people pursue success for reasons beyond money, like passion or a desire to solve problems. And progressive taxes often only apply to people with very significant high incomes, meaning people starting off trying to be successful aren't going to be thinking about these progressive taxes.
Yeah, progressive taxes might discourage people from success, but even with the policy in place, you're still earning more.
Yeah, I think that it shouldn't discourage you. While it does for some people, it shouldn't because yeah, you're earning more than you would be losing in the long run. Next, are there any successful examples from other countries that taxing the rich more has led to positive outcomes?
Yeah, a lot of Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Denmark, or Norway have progressive tax systems where the wealthy pay higher tax rates. For instance, top income tax rates in Sweden can reach around 50%. These countries also have strong social welfare programs, including universal healthcare, free education, and generous unemployment benefits. Um, Also, high taxes can lead to positive outcomes in these countries like lower levels of income inequality, higher overall happiness, um, and a higher quality of public services.
Okay. Next, do you think Shakira's tax evasion was valid or not? We understand it's kind of a silly question, but I feel like it's a little bit relatable.
I think this is a great question because it serves like a great example of celebrities and the rich.
A little background. Shakira committed tax evasion in Spain because they claimed that she did not pay for the 3 years of 2012 to 2014.
Okay, to start off, she did win the trial. She did end up paying it though. But I do think that it was a little valid just because there's a rule in Spain that you have to be living there for about 6 months on downtime to be a taxpayer. And my girl was in the Bahamas. She was traveling with her boyfriend. So I kind of understand that she wasn't really there a lot. Um, so I do think that it was really valid.
I too think that her tax evasion was valid because she did claim that she was not necessarily living in Spain. It's if you're domiciled in Spain, which is for more than half of the year, which she wasn't, she was traveling for her career as well. It wasn't just, like vacationing. She was traveling for her career. So technically, her income wasn't coming directly from Spain, it was coming from other places, which mainly was in Bahamas.
I do want to add on though that um, her annual income is estimated to be about $35 million. So I would understand why they're mad about it because they're missing out big money on Shakira's income. But usually tax evasion is caused by filing incorrect declarations. Like if you have higher income, maybe some people would report that they're making lower money just so then they wouldn't get taxed much, which is illegal. Don't do that. Kids learn from Shakira or from other people. But she did not file it incorrect. She just truly was traveling a lot.
To sum up, just don't commit tax evasion. But, Shakira, we love you, so we forgive you.
Yeah, just don't do it. But she was valid, and she paid it anyway. So there's not really a reason to get mad at her. But
Well, I don't know if it really was valid because she did hide it for 2 years. Even if she paid it, she still did hide it.
That's true. But, maybe we'll talk specifically just about Shakira committing tax evasion in another episode. But I think that is it for today. So, do we think the rich should pay more taxes? Yes. But yeah, that is all that we have for you guys today. Thank you. This is Econ Talk signing out.